Everybody, welcome back to the channel, and this is the start of my journey to be building a fully automated expert advisor and automatic trading robot so I can actually let it just run and, fingers crossed, hopefully make a good profit on all the accounts that I have. Now, with any starting out in journey, you need to have a bit of information, understanding what you need to actually do, what tools you actually have to use to actually be able to build and create these things. Now, it's no different from me. Although I've got some experience with it previously, what I'm going to do is talk through the process I went through just to try and find what the tools were and what the best platforms were for me to use. So most of these projects, we always start off by doing a quick Google search. How do we go about building an automated EA? And as always, we're going to get a ton of search results. A lot of these are obviously going to be selling products and a lot of additional resources. But again, it comes down to a lot of the smaller sites actually give some good information on what actually building a robot is about and how to go about it. But it doesn't really tell you all the best tools to use. So again, looking at then more searches on what are the best tools to use, we actually really start to fine tune that down to look at what we need to do to create some of these robots. Now, if you are a very good programmer and have a lot of skills in computer sciences, then yes, you can use, let's say, Python or C++ to actually go out and program from scratch a lot of these automated trading robots. Or if you understand, if you're looking to do it in MetaTrader, the actual language within there to actually code as well. But a lot of us don't have those skills. We might have some very basics, some of the understanding of logic, but don't have all of the years worth of experience to go out building and coding from scratch an actual EA. And that's where some of the actual tools that are available really do streamline and make this process a lot easier. So first need to understand what platform we're going to be building for. Now, I looked at the options I had. We could actually have built this in TradingView or MetaTrader, and you could have then done some exports out of TradingView into other programs using sort of webhooks. But I thought, okay, keep this simple. Most of my platforms are all using now MetaTrader 5. So I want to find a tool that is going to build in MetaTrader 5 for me. Now, I've used eabuilder.com before, which is a fantastic little tool. It is a paid product. I think it's about $99 I paid for it last time. And it's fantastic for building indicators either in MetaTrader 4, MetaTrader 5, and then converting those into EAs as well to do all the automated trading for you. It's very simple. It's all based on the logic around indicators, and you can choose almost anything you like to actually build out. But I wanted to probably go a little bit beyond that and try and use some of the intelligent tools. Now, Capitalize.ai was one that I've seen previously, and it's a fantastic tool which I've used, but the downside to this was it would only really work on MetaTrader 4, and you need to have a broker that's compatible with it. You could then have obviously used a copy trading program to port that into another product, but if that's not working, not reliable, you're then running multiple tools to get to the same outcome. But one of the key features with Capitalize.ai is it's very much text speak driven. So you just type in, for example, buy gold when price does something. That something could be anything in your particular strategy. And they have some very, very good back testing software as well. So you can actually go in and really work on that particular trading indicator and robot. Now, the downside I saw to that one was that it was only going to be trading one particular instrument. You have to code it for every single one. Well, the advantage with a lot of the EAs you actually program in MetaTrader is all you do is drag them onto a different chart or a different indices or Forex, and it will then that same parameters and trade on everything. So that's where I discounted Capitalize.ai, but I will go back to that in the future because I think there's some fantastic benefits for using that tool. So one of the other options I looked at, which a lot of people have done in the past, is outsourcing all their coding and programming to somebody else. You can find any number of developers if you just search through Fiverr, look for MetaTrader developers, and a whole range of users will come up. Here you can sort by reviews, how good they are, what cost, or how quick their development will be. Now, the reason why I didn't go down this route was I wanted the accountability of my program to be with myself. I'd then be able to go back in and fine tune it and actually make sure that if conditions change, I'd have the knowledge and the skills to go back in and make sure it works. If you just give all of your intellectual property out to somebody else, yes, they're going to come back with a product, but it may not be exactly what you need. You also have to spend a long time actually defining all of the criteria and parameters for them to actually code. Because if something is slightly wrong, they're going to just do what you ask them to do and won't try and find the errors and mistakes and make it better for you. We also look at the MetaTrader community. You can go onto there and see a number of developers and coders and a lot of help for building out these things in the future. You can also go and buy off-the-shelf robots, which for a lot of people is a great way of doing it. But when you actually look at the equity curves, a lot of them seem too good to be true. And By that I mean what they often do is sort of match the particular parameters onto a particular time period and actually make it look fantastic to try and sell some of these. The prices can be quite expensive and you don't know how they work, whether they're going to work in real market conditions. So again, I didn't want to go down that route right now. I'd rather just build my own, see how it works. And if it works fantastically well, I can post it on there and start selling it. So in the end, my decision came down to using ChatGPT. Now we've seen this being used by a lot of other people previously, and it's very intuitive how you actually just ask it to do something. So you can just start off by typing in, create me an expert advisor. It will go and create something. You can then start to customize all the parameters in there. It's very easy just to type in and actually get it to add additional things like stop loss, take profits, or entries or risk management. There are some downsides to this in that it doesn't actually save it. You have to copy the code and then import it into another language to then be able to create the expert advisor. But I don't think it actually has a downside right now. I can actually work on that. And then by seeing the actual language it builds and creates, by every time you add something in, it tells you what the summary is. You can then make a note of that and then be able to go back in later and customize that if you need to, actually in the real code. Now I'm okay with that, but a lot of people wouldn't be okay with that one. That's why if you go for some of the other tools where there's sort of drag and drop or just more sort of typing in based on the indicators, you can then go back and see what your parameters are and then go and modify them. But I thought, let's embrace technology, embrace AI, and really go for it and start to develop a brilliant strategy by using some of the tools and the coding out there. So really my decision was based around what I wanted to do, how easy it was going to be, and obviously then building on from there to get a much better product. The next challenge is going to be actually around the coding and the back testing. That'll come later in the week and part of this whole plan to get an automated robot. But I'm confident with the decisions I made, and I think I'm actually on a good journey now to actually building something that's going to be robust and reliable, and hopefully inspire other people to do the same, because it's not actually that difficult. The complexity is always going to become around the testing and the fine tuning, which we can all do, and just make sure that we can hone this to make sure it's a reliable, robust, automated trading robot, which we can let run on all of our accounts and make some great profits. So if I enjoyed the first in this quick mini series and it's given you some inspiration to go and look at other tools out there to automate your trading experience. So I'll catch you again soon. Cheers.